Hello everyone, this is Kuntal Chakraborty, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, GIS Group. Today we are just going to learn an important topic of 8085 microprocessor, which is the timing diagram. So before we start the timing diagram, first we will try to understand the functional block diagram of 8085 microprocessor. So this is our functional block diagram of 8085 microprocessor. Now we will try to consider an example how the instruction that can be executed by this functional block diagram. So we will take an example MVI B, 32H. So it means this is an instruction, basically it's a data transfer instruction where 32H that will be copied into B, means the content of 8-bit 32, that is the 8-bit of data that will be copied into B. So this is nothing but a data transfer instruction. So this instruction has this is basically a 2-byte of instruction, and it has 2 machine cycle. As we know, in 8085 microprocessor, different types of tasks performed by the 8085 microprocessor. It may be memory read, memory write, it may be input output read, input output write, and it may be opcode fetch. The first in any type of instructions in 8085 microprocessor has 74 numbers of instructions. For any kind of instructions, first microprocessor have to fetch the opcode, and that's why this kind of operation we need one or more machine cycles to complete the timing diagram. So in this particular case, for this instruction MVI B, 32H, here this is a 2-byte of instructions, and we need 2 machine cycle to complete the overall timing diagram. What is happening in 2000 address, the hex code of MVI B, which is 06, is stored, and in 2001 32H that is stored. Okay, so now, so this is our memory where in 2000 location 06 is stored and 32 is stored into the next memory location. Now we will try to understand how this instruction is executed by the microprocessor. So what is happening? First, the data, address 2000, that will be placed into the address bus. And we already know 8085 microprocessor address bus basically divided into 2 parts. One is the higher order address bus and another was the lower order address multiplex address data bus. And that will be placed into the address bus, and program counter that will be incremented by 1, the address that will be incremented by 1 into the program counter. And whenever 2000 is placed into the address bus, it will point out the particular address of a memory, and here 06 is written, and then 06 that will be placed into the data bus, and through this data bus it will come into the internal data bus, and finally it will come into the instruction register. After that, from instruction register, the 06 that will be into the instruction decoder. After decoding the 06, microprocessor can understand what it have to perform, and corresponding control signal that will be sent to the memory. It may be read, it may be write, whatever we need. If you want to phase the opcode, we need a read signal to send to the memory of the 8085 microprocessor that is connected with the microprocessor. So we need a read signal to access the memory. So that's why if you want to read some signal from the memory, we have to send a read signal to it. So after that, decoding, microprocessor can understand what it have to perform. Means microprocessor need a next data that will be copied into B. Now after the first operation, that is the opcode fetch operation, the 2001 that is stored into the program counter, and that will be placed into the address bus, and the content of the 2001, that is 32, that will be placed into the data bus, and finally it will come into the B register and it will be stored into B. Now this is the overall operation, and these overall operation that can be expressed into a diagram that is called the timing diagram. So this execution process that can be, this whole execution process for a particular instruction that can be drawn into a particular picture that is called the timing diagram. So for a timing diagram, we need one or multiple machine cycles. For these particular instructions, we need two machine cycles. First is the opcode fetch. For MVI B, that is the opcode. If you want to fetch it, we need a machine cycle that is called opcode fetch machine cycle. And second one is the data that is stored into a next memory location that we have to read by the microprocessor. That's why we need a read machine cycle. Okay. So now we will try to draw the timing diagram of these particular instructions. So as we know, 8085 microprocessor, any type of instructions, if you want to draw the timing diagram, for first instruction, first machine cycle, that will be the opcode fetch machine cycle. So this one is the opcode fetch machine cycle, and this one is a M1. So any type of instructions microprocessor have to perform, first we need a opcode fetch machine cycle, and for this particular machine cycle we need 4 T states: T1, T2, T3 and T4. These T states nothing but the clock cycles of the microprocessor, particular 8085 microprocessor. So what is happening in case of functional block diagram? First we have to place the address into the address bus. So here we have the address, higher order address A8 to A15, higher order address A8 to A15. So now we will place the address, and here AD0 to AD7, that is the multiplex address data bus, and here the signal is ALE. So here the higher order address is here 20, that will be placed here, and 00 is the lower order address that will be placed here. And this AD0 to AD7, this one is ALE. This AD0 to AD7 nothing but the multiplex address data bus. First, for the first T states, whenever the ALE is high, so this AD0 to AD7 that will behave like a A0 to A7. Means this multiplex address bus, data bus, that will behave like a address bus. Whatever we want to read or write, first we need to address the particular location. That's why here for the addressing, the ALE for the past T state that will be high, and remain T for this particular machine cycle, the ALE that will be low. Okay. And next we have IO/M bar, S0 and S1 signal. So this is a status signal by which we can understand what kind of operation is going on in the microprocessor or not. If this is opcode fetch machine cycle is nothing but a memory related operation, that's why that will be low. Okay, and S0 that will be equal to 1 and S1 is equal to 1. This combination actually gives us the opcode fetch operations status. Okay, now we will place the signal read bar and write bar. So here no write operation is going on. That's why initially for the first state that will be high. For the first state no write operation is going on. That's why that will be also high. Now we will consider for the next two T states. Now for T2 and T3 that will be remain same, means higher order address that will be remain same into the higher order address bus. But in multiplex address data bus, lower order multiplex address data bus now behave like a data bus, and data 06 which is stored into location 2000 that will be placed here. Okay, and now the read operation is going on, means data is placed into the data bus, means that will be low, and no write operation is going on, that's why that will be remain high. And now we will finally try to, this is the read operation, and consider the T4 T state. This one is an unspecified one. This one is an unspecified. We don't know what kind of operation is going on here. And here we will draw like a dotted line that indicates the decoding. Instruction will decode the 06, and after decoding the microprocessor can understand what it have to perform. Okay, and the read operation is already completed, that's why that will be again high, and no write operation is going on throughout the machine cycle, that's why write operation that will be also remain high. Now we will next consider the next machine cycle, which is M2, that is memory read machine cycle. Now here the memory, that is the 32A that is stored into next memory location, means 2001. Now first we have to need to address the memory. So here this is our higher order address. Similarly this one is a lower order address, and ALE that will be also high here. So now the address in the higher order address bus, that will be 20, and lower order address bus, that will be 01. And ALE signal for the first state, that will be remain high, and after that that will be low. Okay, now here this is also a memory related operation, that is M bar, that's why that will be remain low, but S0 that will be equal to 0 and S1 that will be equal to 1, because this is a memory read operation, that's why that will be equal to 0 and that will be equal to 1. But here this is 1 and 1 indicates the opcode phase operation. So now read operation for the first stages of the memory read operation, memory read machine cycle, no read operation is going on. At the same time no write operation is also going on, that's why that will be remain high. Now we will consider T2 and T3 T state. Here the higher order address that will be remain high, and the lower order multiplex address data bus that will behave like a now data bus, and 32 that will be placed here, and 32 data is placed into the data bus means read operation is going on, so that's why that will be low, and throughout the cycle no write operation is going on, that's why that will be remain high. Now here we have a question, important question. For this opcode phase machine cycle we need 4 T state. For 8-bit memory read machine cycle we need 3 T state. Why we require a extra T state for the first machine cycle, opcode phase machine cycle? Because here this T4 T state, in this particular T state the opcode decoding operation is going on, but after decoding microprocessor can understand what it have to perform, so that's why for the next machine cycle we don't need another T states. Okay, so that's all for the day.